So you've probably seen the five-step method and heard about it, but you're trying to figure out how do I apply it to what I'm studying for my general contractor license. So in this video, what I'm gonna do is walk you through the five-step method, really the most important steps you need to take in order to break your questions down and find the keywords. Our mantra here at Contractor Envy is you need to frame it, then build your answer. So what I mean by that is we're literally taking a question and just framing it all the way out like you build a house and then building it on up so we can find our answer. So if you're interested in learning more about this five-step method, stay tuned because in this video, it's about to go down. Working out of the
Contractor impact. As you can see, ain't no stopping us. Best in the city, we can build a house. If you can dream it, we can help you out. Contractor envy, know the best in town. Contractors messing with us, say we go crazy. Drywallers, electricians, yeah, they go crazy. HVAC technicians, oh no, we go crazy. We be going crazy, carpenters going crazy. Contractor envy, we like to inspire you to do what you do best. And Nelly.
So what is the five-step method? Simply, it's five steps you take, right? Or a system or a framework is what we call it. So you can take a question, break it down, and actually find answers in your book. All right. So if you haven't seen it, here we are, the Frame It Method, quick reference guide. I'm going to go ahead and break it down for you. Is first, you want to find your keywords, right? So we're identifying the keywords. And the best way to identify these keywords, you really got to ask yourself, and in step one, this is what you should ask yourself. Let me go ahead and pull this up here. What is the question asking? All right. That should be what you should be saying to yourself when you're looking for the keywords. And and today we'll be working through a few things where you'll be able to actually see three steps inside of that first step that you will be taking in order to find your main, supporting, and best search keywords. All right, that's main, supporting, and best search keywords. And then step two is referencing your what we call tools or compass. And why is because you're going to be looking at your index first. Why the index? Because you got to think of it like this. It's your GPS. It's the GPS because if you say, for instance, just using this as a scenario, you say, I want to go to the nearest Walmart. It's going to take you to, it's going to show you all the Walmarts that are around. So if you're looking for footings, it's going to show you everywhere in the book that footings are. Okay. So that's why indexes are first choice. But if you have been studying your books, I don't know if you got the IBC, your carpentry book, whatever, whichever book it is, table of contents is going to lay the book out from start to finish. So if we're looking at a book that's laid out from start to finish, that means we're looking at chapters. We're able to see every sections and chapters, and it's really just guiding us through the whole book from start to finish. And you can basically see patterns, pull up keywords there. So it is a great option to go to next. So if it's not in the index, you go to your table of contents. Or if you're really familiar with your table of contents, you go to your table of contents, right? But the index, remember, is going to get you there every single part of the book. Table of contents is going to take you directly to that section. So you go there when you know it's in the roofing section, the wall section, the foundation section. All right. Then the next step after that is last part on that, definitions. So say for instance, you don't know what one of those keywords are, or you can't identify in what part of the book it would be, you can go to definitions and find out that maybe if you're looking up a word like collar tie or something like that, you can find out that it's in your roofing section. So now you can go to the roofing section and have a better chance of finding that keyword. All right. Then the next step is going to be accessing the book or the section or the table right? Um, Access is important because it's going to build up the memory. I always tell you when we're working on access, we want to remember how the books are laid out. So if we're in the IRC, again, I got my IRC book over here, and we'll be showing a little bit of it today, is you want to remember that the first three chapters, scope, administration, design, which building design, right? And then definitions, that's part one. That's just part one of the book. But once we get to chapter 4 on up to chapter 11, we are building the house from the ground up. That's how you got to look at it. We're starting at the foundation. Then we're doing our floor systems. Then we're doing our wall systems. We're going to do the inside and the outside of the wall systems. We're going to put a ceiling up. We're going to put a roof up. We're going to put the chimney in and energy efficiency. That's all up to chapter 11. So with this access, we got tabs in our book. We're understanding what's in each section. That's why we teach one book at a time and break it down into different quizzes, right? And then you will be able to understand that book a lot better and access it a lot faster, all right? And I know it's tough when you got 8 books you got to study or 11 books you got to study. So this is important to learn how to tab your book, how to access it by memory, right? I know I'm in chapter 4. I'm going to chapter 4, and it just makes it quicker and easier to access. But the most important step, and I want to put this here, this is the most important step: match. When you're trying to match, you're taking all those main, supporting, and best search keywords, and you're literally, like, if you had a scratch piece of paper, I would write MSB, main, supporting, best search, and I'm writing down 1 to 2. Here I'm writing down 3 to 5 keywords, and this one is just my best one, right? So I got about either 5 to 7 words that I got written down that when I'm on my match section, I'm actually taking and I'm looking at section titles, tables, and figures, right? And what I mean by that, let me just go ahead and pull up a book. And we got a digital book in the community. So if you're not in the community, whew, you are missing out on a lot of opportunity. But in our library here, I'm just gonna, pull up a section here. Um, Let me go to something random, right? I'm gonna go to chapter 5 or chapter 4, floors. When we look at section titles, these are titles, okay? When you look at this, these are section titles, okay? And let me make it easier. These are section titles. These are section titles. All right. So we're looking at section titles, right? Because ultimately, these are our sections. Okay. This right here is going to be the whole section. And then the red, like I showed you, is going to be just an independent section of the whole section. So a subsection, right? And from there, what we're doing when we say section titles, we're also looking at tables and figures. So what I mean by that is, here's a figure that you'll be looking at, figure 502.2. This is breaking down, your floor systems here, overlapping, all of those things. And we'll go deeper into this in another video. But what I want to show you is sometimes your answers are going to be here, right? So for instance, look what it's saying right here. It's saying use hangers, all right? Use hangers if header spans more than 6 feet. Lap joist 3-inch minimum, splice section right here. So if you are looking in these figures, you can actually find the answers. Look, solid blocking, C, section 502. So that's why when we look at these figures, it's very important that we're paying attention to what it's saying, because sometimes it's leading us there with a keyword. If our keyword was girder, right, it's telling us to go to 502.5. Okay, everybody with me on that? Thumbs up in this video, comment below, let me know that you in this video, that you like, yeah, that's making sense. All right, so then from there, we're looking at tables. All right, and everyone calls me about tables, because now here's a span chart and we got to figure out how to read it. So in our 5-step method, again, we're still matching. And I got videos coming up after this that's going to break down the charts. But in this video, we're just talking about the 5-step method in matching, right, our keywords. Remember, we were talking about our keywords here. We got main, supporting, best search. We're trying to align the questions with section titles, tables, and figures, right? Section titles, tables, and figures. Let me point this out. This is where we're looking. Hold on. Let me get my little eraser. Boom, 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 boom. Titles, tables, and figures. Check me out now. This is what we're looking at. So when we go back to our book here, if we're at a table, we're looking at the table title, everything in here, right? So let me show you what that looks like. I can see keywords right here, which I'm looking first, right? Floor joist spans, common lumber species, residential sleeping areas, all these different things are keywords. Or maybe we're looking at joist spacing and there's 12, there's 16. Or maybe we're looking at species, right? And so all of these right there are the different species. Or maybe we're looking at maximum floor joist span and it's telling us right here that's what this is. Or even better, we're looking at dead load, 20 PSF, 10 PSF. All those are different keywords, right? So that's why when we look at the tables, we're also taking those keywords and trying to align them. So most important step, again, is matching. If we're here and we're matched, this is the right section, right? Or table or figure. What you're going to do is you're going to evaluate. All right. And let me move this to the side. The last step of the whole thing is evaluate. When we say we're evaluating, we're looking at that piece of paper that we got with all our keywords there. We're matching it to the section. And if we're hot, we're taking, timing wise, 2 to 3 minutes to find our answer. Depending on how your exam's set up, you want to know that ahead of time. And that's what you want to start training on. Setting a timer when you're doing these quizzes, right? When you're doing these questions and understanding how does 2 minutes feel like? What does 3 minutes feel like? Okay. And then from there, if you're code, you gotta know what 1 minute feels like, 60 seconds. You're gonna give yourself 60 seconds to jump in and find the answer or find the section. And then another 60 to 160 seconds to find the answer. So we want to get to the location in the first minute. Then we want to spend a minute or two finding the answer. Sounds tough, doesn't it? I get it. I know it sounds tough. So if you guys are like, what in the hell? How the hell am I going to do this? Well, I will say this. You can always come join us. And I'm just pulling it up right here. You can always come join us in the Contractor Envy community. All right, because what we do over here is this is all we focus on. We focus on helping students pass. As you can see, we got students in here passing. I put a lot of stuff in the community to help you understand, what it takes to actually get your general contractor license. All right, so going back to it, the last and final step is evaluate. You want to be able to evaluate and then execute. Okay, so that is our 5-step method. I'm not sure if you guys fully understood it, so I wanted to really do a video on just this, right? And now we're going to go ahead and actually go to the chapter where the first step is. And that's chapter, I believe, 5. Nope, chapter 4. And chapter 4 is the F to finding the keyword. It's the first step that's going to set you up for your win. Okay. And so if you get this part wrong, just everything after it is going to be wasted time. That's what I'm telling you. Okay. So what are keywords and why do they matter? Right. When we look at certain questions, you're going to be pulling out again, what is it saying by identifying the keywords? Okay. So I'm going to go straight to our worksheet here in this chapter on chapter 4. And here's a real life example, okay, right here. And the question reads, can y'all see that? Thumbs up if y'all see it. Comment below if you see it. Tell me right now if this video is helping you right now from where you were. Damn, this is really what I needed to start breaking these questions down. right? So even when you're doing the practice quizzes, this is what you should be doing with every single question. And it's going to keep you aligned with a strategy, confidence, and timing, right? So in this question, it says, what is the minimum height required for guardrails on decks more than 30 inches above grade? All right. What's our keyword? Go ahead and put them in the comments below. What's our keyword? Okay. It says, what is the minimum height required for guardrails on decks more than 30 inches above grade? Well, in this question, what we need to do is say, what did I say we needed to do? We needed to ask ourselves, right? Let me write that one more time. I'm gonna write that one more time. What is this question asking? And when you look at that, what is the question asking? Simply is asking minimum. Oh, let me get a little smaller here. Sorry, guys. That's a little too much. Minimum height, right? Required for what? Guardrails. Okay. So we know we're looking for the minimum height of guardrails. That is right there going to be one of our main keywords. But these guardrails are going to be on decks. Okay. That's a supporting keyword. 30 inches. That's a supporting keyword. Above grade. It's long tail, right? Or short tail, however you want to say it, keyword. But what I'm saying is we really want to be grabbing one word, but sometimes you see above grade, that we got to tie those together. Or we see minimum height, we got to put those together. All right. So now we done figured out what our keywords are. And here's how we break it down. Our main is our guardrails, of course, right? And then our supporting is height, minimum, deck, correct? Everybody with me on that? Everybody agree? So common keyword mistakes. You're searching for deck height instead of just deck. All right. These are just common mistakes a lot of us make, okay? Search for keywords that you're just putting too many words together. That's what I was just talking about. And then you're looking for step size, right? Instead of tread depth, right? Or you're searching for, and I'm just using some generals here, you're searching for rafter gap instead of rafter spacing. A lot of people been in the industry, they might do it every single day. And they might tell you, general contractor license is this and that, and whatever, but they still don't know the book part. They can do it, and I ain't gonna say they can do it right. There's people that can't. But when it comes down to it, ultimately, it's knowing the book so you can get to the part of running your business as a general contractor. That's the key. So this is why finding the keywords is the first step in all of your studying once you get into our course. So it determines your entire path through the question. Okay? Everybody with me on that? So here's a question that we were just talking about, right? Another practice breakdown. It says, what is the maximum spacing between vertical balusters on a stair guardrail? Okay, no different. They're just giving us the steps here. What you do, you're going to look up your main, and let me write this again. Main, supporting, and then best search. So our main is either going to be, again, balusters, not vertical, balusters, right? And then guardrail, not stair guardrails, guardrail. Okay? And then let's right now, if you got your book, pull your book out and let's look. So in this book here, I'm going to go ahead and hit the index. And this book is so awesome, the digital one. If you hit the three lines right there, you'll be able to navigate it. I'm going to go all the way down to the index. Okay, we're in the index right here. I'm going to look up guard. Stay with me now. I'm going to look up guard. Now, notice that when we're on the guard section, there isn't guardrails, right? There's not guardrails in there, but there's guards, right? Y'all see that right there? Everybody see it? There's not guard rails, there's guards. So isn't that our keyword? guards. So that's where I was talking common mistake. You're like, damn, guardrails ain't in there. Guardrails ain't in there. Well, guards is. All right. Stairs, you won't find stairs in your index, but you'll find stairways. So that's a good way for you to really, really break down your keywords, is just by being open and making sure that you're not missing the simplicity of what it's saying. So guards is telling us that we are at 312. If you were looking for it in definitions, it's an R202. And if you haven't learned what the R202s and R3s and all that stuff means, I'll work with you right now, kind of help you out so you can understand what the R's mean. And so what the R is, right, we're going to use this one for an example. R is our residential book. Okay. The 3, okay, I'm just looking at just this 3. Or let me do this better. Y'all know I like this little highlighter that I got right here. So just that 3, right? That's going to be the chapter. Okay. Just this 3 is going to be the chapter. Oh, I ran out of space. Sorry. That's going to be the chapter. And then when you put 312 together, let me get my little marker. My little marker acting up right now. If you put 312 together, right, that's going to be the section. So what happens when you got 4 numbers, right? For instance, we're up here. You got 4 numbers. Well, that just means a few different things here, right? A few different things. The E is going to tell me it's an electrical chapter, because believe it or not, the ICC has the NEC in it. It has the plumbing parts in it. It has the HVAC in it, which is our mechanicals, right? So they just kind of put some more of these other pieces of the book inside of this big book, so everything's there. So you may, in most cases, have an electrical or plumbing question on there, but they're not asking you to be experts. You, as a general contractor, need to learn how to find the answer. So that's why you have to learn how to navigate the book. And so the chapter, when I look at that E, it's in chapter 36. Okay. And then the whole, meaning all of this section, is 3603.4. Now, when we're looking at these sections, okay, let me explain this part. If we're looking at the sections, I'm going to go back to the book, and I'm just going to go to 36 or wherever we're at. I'm just going to pick a section, right? If we're in here, let me get to a section that makes some sense. I know y'all don't want to jump right into charts today. Some of y'all probably yelling, yeah, get to do the charts, do the charts right now. We want to know what the charts is. Well, what I'm going to tell you is, when we're looking at the sections, right, this is where you want to learn how to break them down. Okay. And what I mean by that is, we were just in the index. What we're doing is we're going to highlight this. What's the main section here? Is it 603.94 or is it 603.9? All right. And why I say that is, these are all subsections. Look, 3.941, that's taking care of the subsection of uplift connection requirements. 603.2, same thing. And then we pop back out to a 603.9. But all of this is covered under 603.9, right? So let's see what 603.9 is. 603.9. Uh-oh, they're going to make us go through some chapters right here. I might have picked one heck of a chapter. Okay, there we go. 603. 603. I might have chose one that was like, uh-oh, what are we doing? 603, give me 1 second. I'm going up. 603.9 is right here, and it's structural sheathing. So everywhere that we were seeing 603.9.1, 603.9.1 point whatever, those are still all under structural sheathing. Okay, so make sure that when you're searching for your keywords, you're paying attention to those full sections. Is that making sense? So again, I'm just going to flip the page back to where we were. 6039s, this is all having to do with structural sheathing. But now we dive into some of those more supporting keywords. So if you knew structural sheathing was your keyword, you went there, but now you got to pay attention to all this because that's how we're going to piece this all together. Hit in the comments, let me know if you're interested right now in learning more of this. We teach this in a community 4 or 5 days a week, live classes. I want to help you pass your general contractor license. So just let me know. Let me know what you need. Comment below right now what you need. Is this helping? And I got you. We're going to keep this ball rolling. So now we looked up guards, right? Oh, let me go back to the book. We're going to go back to guards. We're almost there. Almost there. I'm going to go back here. I'm going to go back to guards. Okay. Guards took us again to 312, right? So I'm going to go to 312. Here we go. 312. Boom. Guards and windows, huh? Guards and window fall. Now, this is where that piece of paper on the side, right? If you still had it, you got all your keywords lined up. Now we're looking for spacing, vertical, balusters, guards, right? So here, when I look, where required, guards should be provided for those portions of open-sided walking surfaces, right? Let me just get my highlight out here so y'all seeing this. Including ramps located 30 inches, measured vertically to the floor at a grade of a point within 36 horizontally to the edge of the open side. Okay, is that telling us where we need to be yet? We got guards. Okay, we got 30 inches, right? Guards 30 inches. We got vertically, but it's not talking about balusters, right? Not at all, right? We have balusters and things like that, or deck. It didn't say anything about a deck as well. But let's keep going here. Okay. Are you seeing it? Guards on open sides of stairs should have a height of not less than 34 inches measured vertically from line connecting to nosing, or where the top of the guard serves as a handrail. The top of the guard should be not less than 34, not more than 38, and measured vertically. Okay. And then, required guards at open-sided walking surfaces, including stairs, porches, balconies, landings, shall not be less than 36 inches in height as measured vertically above the adjacent walking surface or vertically on the line connecting the nose. And this is where it's important for us to go back to the question to make sure that it's making sense. What is the maximum spacing between vertical balusters on a stair guardrail? Now we're talking about spacing. We're not talking about height. I've been reading nothing but height, but watch this. Required guards shall have openings from the walking surface to the required guard height that allow passage of a 4-inch diameter, right? Hopefully y'all seeing this. Right here, openings, guard height allowed a spear of a 4-inch diameters, right? Guards on open sides of stairs shall not have openings that allow passage of a spear of 4 3/8 inches in diameter. So what's our answer? Is it 4 3/8 or is it 4 inches? Okay. So that's where required guard height that allow passage of a 4-inch spear is 4 inches. So going back, again, just looking at that question, that's how we break it down. All right. So that is being able to do the first step in the 5-step method. It's finding your keywords. If you're interested in doing these spot on keywords, right? We got a few books here, right? This is the actual Nail Your GC License ebook, and it'll allow you to do main and supporting keywords. Okay, we're going to go over just a couple so you get a better understanding of what I'm talking about. It says take 2 minutes for each of the following. We're going to do the first one. And all you're going to do is you're going to work on looking for main keywords and then supporting keywords. So in this one is, what is the minimum size of a window used for emergency escape and rescue in a sleeping room? What is the main keywords? And like I told you before, when you're doing your main keywords, it's better if you do 1 to 2 Okay, let me write this. 1 to 2, and then maybe 3 to 5 right here on supporting. If you don't got 3 to 5, you can put as many keywords as you can. Might be 2. If you only got one good main keyword, just write it down. So in this instance, what we got? What is our main keyword? Go ahead and hit it in the comments right now. What's the keywords? I'm going to tell you right now. What is the question asking is what you should be saying. What is the minimum size of a window used for emergency escape and rescue in a sleeping room? Minimum size of window. That's what this asking us. And that window is used for an emergency escape and rescue. Then it's in a sleeping room. Okay. So here we go. Our main keyword. Again, oh, my fault. Sorry, guys. Erase that. Main keyword is window. Supporting is minimum emergency escape. And I'm putting everything and rescue and sleeping rooms. Right? That's what we're looking for, right? So now that I got that, this is when I go into the next step. R, reference your tools. Will I use the table of contents? Will I use the index? Will I use the definitions? All right, that's the question I'm going to leave you with. So if you enjoyed this lesson today, I want you to get your ebook, okay? And if you can get the ebook, you can start working on these different questions. This is all out the IRC. We're about to release the book for the IBC, which is commercial, and we're going to make a book for every single one. All right? Every single one. So you can learn how to spot the keywords. So if you need any help with your studying, please reach out, comment below, I need help. Hit the link in the bio or in the description. Come join the community, and we will work with you on helping you pass the general contractor exam. Stop making the excuses that it's all on you. It's not. In our community, it's on us. We want to see you pass, right? We want to make sure that you get everything that you need, so come join us. We got students passing, and I'm showing her. She showed us love. She made a nice comment out there, but we got plenty of students that are, passing this exam and, fighting hard to get it. All right. So if you guys are ready to take the next step, again, come on. I thank you for joining me in this video, and I look forward to seeing you in the community coming soon. This is how you use the frame it method. And so if you start using it, you're going to learn how to do what you do best and nail it.